Sometimes it's not even really about you. Hello, welcome back to my 90 days of lessons from me to you. And today is either day 48 or day 49. I have not checked, but today's lesson is kind of one that's coming from my heart because it's something that it's kind of fresh for me, right? It's kind of the reason I didn't make a video yesterday. It was something I was processing and I wanted to talk about. And it's like, sometimes it's not even really about you. And what do I mean by that? This is going to be more so of a relationship forward focused lesson. You can really apply this lesson to whatever you want, but I'm going to speak from the context of a relationship and the ending of relationships. So again, to preface this, as you guys know, if you've been watching my videos, I was in a 3-year relationship for the past 3 years. It ended in January, and I've also been seeing somebody for the past month. Somebody different for the past month, and I'm pretty sure that's done now too. But the reason why I'm making this and to say it's not even really about you is that looking back on my past 3-year relationship and this past month, where it's not even a relationship, we were just going on dates for the past month. We've been on 4 dates, we're talking every day, stuff like that. So, I thought it was getting pretty good. We were like, I like you, blah, blah, blah. We were talking on the phone. We were texting every day. We were like, I blah, X, Y, Z. We were talking about like, kind of like, not really future plans, but, alluding to things, right? And yesterday, out of the blue, I get a message that says, I don't really think this is working, blah, blah, blah. I don't see this going anywhere. I'm like, that's fair. That's fair to say. When you're dating somebody, you're gonna be dating for a month. That's fair to say. Does it suck? Because I'm like, she been telling me that the date's been great. We literally talked about this on last time I saw her. She was like, you 4-0 on a date. The date's been fire. Blah blah blah. I'm like, what, cool. And I'm liking that. She like me. She feeling a young nigga. I'm like, cool on that. And then that shit happened. I'm like, what the fuck? What the fuck? Because it's like, it's not things you can control. That's not something you can control. You can't really control the way a person feels about you and the way that they want to interact with you and be with you. But, there is also the idea that the way that they've been acting towards you does give you this certain idea of how they feel towards you and what they would like to pursue with you, which is a fair thing to say. Like, if I'm showing you that I'm romantically interested in you, right? And you're perceiving my romantic interest and you're like, okay, I want to reciprocate that, right? That's a fair thing to do. That's a fair thing to do. And if I'm giving you this romantic vibes, like, not even like, oh, it's in your head, like, no. We're actively speaking about things of the romantic nature. And then I pull out all of a sudden, like, it's my right to do that. That's very much my right to do that. But it is also your right to, feel however you want to feel about it and feel some type of way about it. But at the end of the day, you would need to understand that it's not more so about you for the most part, especially if you haven't done anything wrong. Because I don't think I've done anything wrong. She hasn't complained about anything. She hasn't said that, oh, you did something wrong. So in this scenario, you haven't done anything wrong, right? It's more so a thing with me, right? In myself, where I'm like, either I'm not ready for a relationship or I just don't want to be with that person. And again, these are both things that you reserve to have. But what you need to understand is that it's not about you, right? It's not about you. You're not a problem, especially if you are in a place where you feel like you're healed, you feel like you're okay, and you feel like you can pursue and give love to another person, right? And put yourself out there for another person, right? That is okay. It's okay to feel some type of way about it, but at the end of the day, you really need to understand it's not about you. Maybe that, like I said, maybe that person's just not in a good space. Maybe that person just doesn't want that for themselves right now, right? Or maybe you're just not hitting all their criteria, which again, it's not a thing about you that makes you any less valuable. It's just that they want different things from you, right? Like, I'm gonna go back to the example of my ex-girlfriend, right? Sure, the first time around when we broke up, things were a little bit rocky. I acknowledge that. We were both not doing the best that we could. The second time around, however, it genuinely came out of nowhere. I thought the relationship was going great. I had just spent an entire week at her place before I went back to my house, right? We had the dog, we were there, it was snowing, it was great. We were like, perfect couple by all means. Everything's going great. And then by the end of the month, I'm getting hit with I don't think this is working. What do you mean it's not working? What's not working? And then she's giving me her reasons, and it's just the fact of I'm not really hitting these boxes that she wants. And it's not the fact of I'm being a bad boyfriend, because when we did meet up the last time around, she was like, no, you were a great boyfriend. You were a great partner. You were very supportive. You were very, like, I was hitting the boxes on everything that she could have wanted in a partner, except for one thing. My relationship with God wasn't the same way that she was, hers was. And I wasn't pursuing it the same way that she wanted her husband or future husband to pursue it. Because, you know, at this point, we've been together for 3 years, man. I planned to propose to that girl. At the end of this year, I planned to propose to her. You know, I had like rings saved. We had a conversation about it before we even got back together. We had a conversation like, you know, I would really like to marry you and things of that nature. Right? I really would like to, you know, get us right in the eyes of God and get together. You know, get married, have a future together, because I really wanted that. But, you know, I'm saying that all to say that it wasn't more so something that was wrong with me inherently, right? It's because my relationship with God wasn't the way that she wanted it to be. But there's nothing inherently wrong with my relationship with God, right? Just because I'm not reading the Bible every day, I'm not going to church every Sunday and things like that. I pray to God every day. I talk to God every day. I thank God every day and things like that. Just because I'm not doing it to the degree that you want doesn't mean that there's something inherently wrong with the way that I'm doing it, which again goes back to the fact that it's not always about you. It's about them and what they want, right? And those are things to be okay with. And you can rationalize it this way. You can be aware of it. Like, don't get me wrong when I say this. I'm confused and a little bit, you know, the normal feeling that you get after either a relation, not a failed relationship, like a failed talking stage, I guess. I hate talking stage. Failed, like, dating. Like, you start to like somebody while you were dating. Because I was really starting to like this girl. You know, you talk to somebody while you're dating, and it just doesn't work out. And again, it's out of nowhere kind of thing. So, you know, you can feel however you want to feel. You can feel maybe abandoned. You can feel maybe, I mean, I don't really feel abandoned, because, you know, I just got my heart broke by the girl I love. Not this one, the one before that. You know, you can feel abandoned, you can feel betrayed, you can feel all the emotions that you want to feel. You can feel those. Those are very fair things to feel, and you reserve that right to feel those ways. But at the end of the day, man, you need to understand that it's not about you, right? And it's not another fact that it's not about you and how you feel. It's that the reason why it may not have worked or pushed forward to where you wanted to go wasn't any fault of your own. And it may not even be, there's not really anybody to blame there. I mean, you can if you wanted to, but there's not really anybody to blame. And that's the part that sucks about it the most, because people do reserve the right to pull out of those things whenever they want to, right? Like, it sucks. It fucking sucks. I know it fucking sucks. But everybody does reserve that right to choose who they want to be with and what they want to have in their life. And they have the right to pull out the same way that you do. The same way that you have the right to tell a person, like, hey, man, you know, I've really been enjoying getting to know you, blah, 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 and I'm spending time with you, but I don't think it's going to work out. Does it suck? Is it fucking stupid? Yes. But that's the thing about feelings. You can never get mad at somebody about the way they feel. The way that they feel is just how it is, man. There's no really any rationale to feelings. There's nothing to it. It sucks. I know it fucking sucks, but especially coming from me, because I'm the one experiencing this shit right now. It fucking sucks. But a lot of the times, it's not about you. I know I've been saying this a lot throughout this entire thing, and this has been more of a story than a lesson. I guess you could interpret it as a lesson, but it's not about you. It's not about what you did or what you said or things of that nature, you know? You know, for me, I was looking back to Tuesday, and I had a conversation. I was like, you know, we've been dating for a month. You know, you said you like me. I've told you I like you. And I do kind of feel like we're definitely going to progress to the physical nature of this relationship. And I was like, you know, you're the only person I've been seeing for the past month, and I kind of want to continue seeing only you, right? I'm not saying that, like, I wasn't saying, like, you know, be my girlfriend, be your relationship, but, you know, I was kind of alluding to exclusivity. And, you know, the conversation, you know, thing, we talked about it, and, you know, I might be moving pretty soon. I might not be anymore, actually. So that was kind of like a thing. And I thought it was kind of done there, because, you know, everything was looking good, but, you know, it ended up where it ended up. So we're here. Yeah, this is a little bit of a all over the place one. I'm not gonna lie to you. This is pretty raw on emotion. I don't really, I think the only time I've ever done this is my uncle passing, but that's what these are for, man. These are video diaries. So, you know, as always, Love yourself more than you love anybody else. Put God first with all that you do. Seek him in all that you do. And if there's nobody out there that loves you, I love you, but there's somebody out there that loves you. And I will see you guys, actually see you guys tomorrow. I love you. Bye.